Welcome to the Online Graduate Practicum Forum for Spring 2019. My name is Marie Olson, and I'm a graduate student in the Masters of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies program in the Department of Occupational Workforce and Leadership Studies. The title of my practicum is Surveying for Effective Program Development and Training. At my worksite, there is a lack of employee feedback when executing programs aimed to improve working conditions for employees. The effect of this disconnect can be seen in terms of high turnover rates, low morale, and lower productivity because employee needs are not being met and people don't want to work for an organization where they don't feel valued or heard. Therefore, the purpose of my practicum was to apply my knowledge gained from coursework to help create a guide that will provide human resources with tools to assess employee needs and satisfaction in relation to training and development, which will therefore supply data for future program development and implementation. My practicum was completed at my worksite, which is ConMet, located in Canton, North Carolina. This particular facility supplies injection molding parts for the heavy truck industry. I've worked there since 2015 and have held various roles related to supervision, management, and materials. My first objective was to expand my cross-cultural global awareness. To do this, some of my activities include adapting survey methods to meet employee needs, as well as attending departmental tiered accountability meetings to better understand the culture of the shop floor employees. To increase intellectual development, my activities include shadowing the training coordinator, creating a needs assessment, and creating the resource guide of survey templates and models to help the human resources group select the most appropriate assessment. In terms of career exploration, my activities include helping the human resources group develop, plan, and facilitate a leadership training through means of curriculum development, create evaluation assessments and rubrics, and facilitating a class. These objectives contributed to my career goals because I wish to pursue a career in the field of human resource development and hope to one day teach in the higher education setting. I worked with the training and development manager and my site supervisor to create a survey to assess the needs of shop floor employees. This was a Likert scale questionnaire that asked questions related to aspects of the job. I took my time devising the survey questions to make sure they could be easily understood and transparent, and referred to several of my peer-reviewed articles to assist me in the process. A common result I found from surveying and interviewing was the belief that employees who are good at their job roles are denied opportunities in other roles because finding comparable backfills will be a challenge. My site supervisor and I determined that the production team lead should be a focus for program development because of the need for standardization, process improvements and training, and room for career advancement. To connect surveying and program development, I assisted the HR group in planning, developing, and facilitating the Team Lead Certification course. This course was voluntary and offered to the production team leads and anyone else who was interested. The creation of this course was based on the responses of the needs assessment I helped create and therefore covered a variety of topics such as job expectations, interpersonal skills, stress management, and continuous improvement. This course is also a great opportunity for shop floor employees to engage in a form of continuous education. Many of the employees do not have any education past a high school diploma and therefore have not been privileged to opportunities regarding intellectual, career, or personal development. This course not only provides participants with opportunities to develop a better sense of self-awareness and how they act with others, but also teaches them skills related to critical thinking and decision-making. The first literature highlight I want to discuss is intended to raise awareness to various cross-cultural differences in order to give leaders a foundation of knowing examples of differences that can exist across cultures. It's important for leaders in an organization to have a cultural understanding of the beliefs, values, and customs of their employees, because if not, misunderstandings can occur and employees could be offended. This then influences the relationship employees have with leadership of the organization, which can further impact employee commitment to achieving the organization's mission, values, and goals. This resource helped me recognize my own gaps in cultural intelligence, ability to develop survey methods that are inclusive to the cultural diversity of the workplace, and create surveys that effectively gauge the organizational climate. The second literature highlight discusses surveying as an intervention method for assessing an organization. In surveying, employees may be apprehensive to participate if they've not seen changes occur after taking surveys in the past. Employees have to know that management will take survey results seriously, act upon data, and initiate change. If management does not do this, the interventions to create organizational change will not be effective. This was a helpful resource by assisting me create surveys that were appropriately aligned with desired interventions, analyze and report data findings, and make recommendations for organization development models that will help achieve organizational change. The last literature highlight is a study related to training transfer, which refers to what is learned in trainings that actually gets transferred back to the job. Despite organizations spending time and resources on training initiatives, only a small percentage of training is transferred back to the job. By making leaders and organizations aware of the factors related to motivation and training transfer, they can use those factors to improve the effectiveness of training programs. This helped me during the practicum by assisting me with developing new ways to teach and train the participants in the TLC course. I worked to ensure that what they were learning in the classroom would be transferred back to the job responsibilities they fulfill on the shop floor, and it gave me the ability to recognize the need to try to modify these approaches if they were not successful. This practicum experience was very eye-opening for me in terms of learning more about my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A strength of mine during the practicum was my ability to apply theory to the workplace. Throughout the practicum, I've had aha moments where it's like a light bulb has gone off and I was able to connect theory and course content with real-world application. However, I've also realized that theory doesn't fit the real world perfectly. For me, theory and concepts have been more of a guide through this practicum rather than a firm rule to follow. No single theory fits. It takes pulling ideas and concepts from each to make it work for what you're being given. In completing the practicum, I realized one of my major weaknesses in terms of intellectual and professional development is my rigid ways of thinking. If I figure out how to solve a problem, I want to use the same solution for every similar problem that arises. When debriefing the practicum with my supervisor, he also pointed this out as one of his observations of my performance during the practicum, and provided me with several helpful suggestions to work around it, such as seeking feedback from peers who are familiar and unfamiliar with the topic in order to get a wider range of ideas. Rigid thinking limits my creativity and ability to come up with new solutions, which could give me a competitive edge among my peers for future opportunities. I know that part of my rigid thinking stems from my ADHD, but being more mindful of it can help me in my professional and personal life. The unexpected opportunity to travel to an off-site plant location during the practicum offered me the opportunity to continue to apply my previous skills and knowledge from this program to another aspect of the organization. While it's still the same organization, the people are very different in how they interact and respond to surveys and interviewing. I think this is because the cultures are different and they experience a variety of different issues. This challenged me and allowed me to get a different perspective of the organization while offering me situations to improve my communication, interpersonal, and problem-solving skills. A threat I encountered with the practicum is that the human resources group at my work site is fairly small, and it's a department with little to no turnover. I've expressed this concern to my site supervisor, which he acknowledged and provided me the feedback that though he would like to have me and his group, there aren't any openings currently. This is a threat because there's not really an opportunity to transition into a role with the human resources group if I were to stay at this work site. After graduation, my goal is to pursue a career in human resource development with an emphasis in organization development because of my passion for helping empower employees to develop their personal and organizational skills, knowledge, and abilities. Within the next 5 years, I'd like to begin to pursue a PhD in organizational behavior and then pursue a career teaching in higher education. Until then, I'm looking for part-time positions with local community colleges that have openings to teach courses related to continuing education and workforce development so that I can gain some experience in the meantime. This concludes my presentation. On the YouTube page below, please indicate your anonymous preference for this practicum by clicking on one of these two icons. Also, please post your comments or questions in the YouTube comment section below. I will respond to your inquiries posted between April 1st and 14th through this webpage. Thank you for watching my practicum video presentation here on the YouTube Owls channel.